corner that we started in, right?
Oh,
There it is.
cool.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my god, look at that. In this new mixed reality party game, your room will be stitched with the rooms of your friends, and you'll be able to play a ton of competitive mini-games that will blend all of these spaces seamlessly. It will basically feel like you have this single giant play space built up of everyone else's rooms, and you play competitive games through all of these rooms, creating pure chaos in the best possible way. Thank you, Shell Games, for sponsoring this content. Party Versus, developed by Shell Games and published by Oculus Publishing, is one of the most energetic mixed reality party games that you will ever play, with up to 3 friends or 4 players total. Once you set up your room and invite your friends to join, the game connects your room to your friends' rooms, creating a shared virtual space where you can see their avatars and their room layouts. I played with 2 of my VR friends, LS Toast and J-Bar. Seeing their rooms filled with furniture, doors, and walls was so strange. Simply the fact that I knew that this was the actual layouts of their rooms that they were playing in felt bizarre, almost intrusive in some way, but cool. I loved seeing how everyone's room was set up because different rooms, shapes, and sizes can impact the gameplay. For example, J-Bar's large room gave him plenty of space to dodge incoming projectiles, and in my smaller room, it was much more challenging to avoid these incoming attacks. But on the other hand, it made it easier for me to chase and pop these balloons in a different minigame, while J-Bar was out of breath in his gigantic studio. So there's pros and cons to having a small and a large rooms depending on which minigame you play. Essentially, it's best to play in a medium-sized square room. And also, you gotta be careful mapping out your furniture because stuff will be spawning at random places inside your room, and you will need to make sure that you can get everywhere, like physically get everywhere inside your room. For example, I didn't map all of my furniture, like for example this tall bookcase, I did not map it out, and one time an item spawned right inside it, and in reality I had to open the real cabinet of this furniture in my real life in order to be able to physically reach out into that physical item. Talk about immersion. But you can also use those objects to your advantage. For example, you can use your couches to dodge incoming attacks, but also you gotta be careful because some objects may get stuck behind your furniture. Oh wow, it's all right there behind your furniture. It was behind.
That was a sneaky spot, yeah.
In my case, I had a clean open space, but it also meant that I had nowhere to hide. So as you can see, the kind of a room that you're playing in can seriously affect how your game is going to play out. Party Versus includes 16 minigames, each with its own mechanics and strategies. My favorite was the matching game, where players must grab objects and throw them at matching targets. The twist is that many of these matching objects are located in your friends' rooms, so you'll need to throw them inside their rooms and hope that they will keep flying until they match them, and then you will get points. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, shoot.
No.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes!
Oh, skateboard.
But the trick is that while that object is in your friend's room, they can grab it, basically intercept your throw, and then they will be the one that are matching these items and getting points. It's tricky, but you can intercept their throws too. So basically this game will turn into a fast-paced battle of strategy and reflexes. It's exciting and requires quick thinking.
Who has the star?
No,
Where?
it's
Oh,
not
it's
in my
way
way.
back there in your room.
Oh no! Another cool minigame is Hot Potato. As the name suggests, you'll be tossing a virtual potato between players, trying to avoid being the one holding it when it explodes. Variations like Sticky Potato add even more chaos, where the potato can stick to players' avatars. During one match, we managed to stick 2 potatoes to one of my friend's avatar, which was really funny as they tried to remove them. It's fast, frantic, and ridiculously fun. And there's more potatoes that keep spawning in people's rooms, so it turns the game into a real mayhem.
Oh, now you get 2
got
of them.
2.
Oh, Spike Attack is another favorite. It's similar to a dodgeball, but with a twist. You grab spiky orbs from spawn points around your room and throw them at your friends. But once thrown, these orbs either fly in a straight trajectory or bounce off walls, floors, and objects, making them harder to dodge, depending on the type of minigame that you choose. So in a game like that, having furniture to take cover can definitely come in handy, but it also may limit your movements. Since my room was so small and had no hiding spots, I had to rely on my pure pure speed and agility. Players with larger spaces will become a much tougher target because you'll need to be much more precise. It's almost like they'll have an unfair advantage in those types of games, but they'll also be running more and they'll be getting tired.
Oh my god, why is there so many of them? What's going on?
No, I'm getting hit so much.
How much can they bounce? Oh my lord.
They're bouncing like infinitely. Oh no, that was really bad.
I hate that my room is so small this time.
So while these are highly interactive games like Hot Potato and Spike Attacks, you're interacting with other players all the time, there's also other minigames like Cupcake Eater and Balloon Pop. They are less interactive with other players, but they're still fun in their own way. Cupcake Eater involves running around your room to collect virtual cupcakes. You kind of turn into a giant Pac-Man. It's a race to see who can eat the most cupcakes in the shortest time. While it's not as engaging with other players as those more interactive games, it makes a good break from the intensity of games like the dodgeball. Another game, Balloon Pop, requires you to pop balloons in a specific order as quickly as possible, but all the balloons are gonna be inside your room, so again, limited interaction with other players. But still, these solo-focused games are enjoyable, but I felt like they lacked the chaotic energy of the multiplayer ones, and they didn't really take advantage of this stitched mixed reality. One of the unique features of Party Versus is the Twisted mode, which adds an extra layer of difficulty by reversing gravity for some players. Rooms turn upside down and objects follow the new rules of gravity. In theory, this should create unpredictable and hilarious gameplays, because if I tossed an orb in that space, the point of gravity would change and it will basically fall on the room's ceiling, which will make things even more chaotic and difficult to calculate. I believe that who's twisted and who's not should be chosen at random, but in our playthrough, we noticed that the same player, J-Bar, kept getting selected for Twisted mode, and that made it less random and more predictable.
He's upside down again. The thing is, J-Bar is always
agree.
twisted.
So for
No,
me, you
because
both
it's
are
the,
always upside down.
Yeah, because you're
The
upside
other
down,
person
so...
on this side would have been upside down, the fourth player.
Physically, Party Versus is demanding. Almost every mini-game that we played requires running, dodging, and quick reflexes. It's not the type of game that you can play while just sitting back on a couch with a drink. If you're not prepared to sweat, this might not be the game for you. That said, it's an excellent workout. By the end of the session, I was exhausted. It's the kind of game that leaves you breathless, but you're still gonna have a ton of fun with your friends. The only thing that's missing, in my opinion, is the cooperative mode. Every minigame is competitive, which is great for friendly rivalries, but I'd love to see a mode where players work together towards a common goal. For example, a game where you and your friends would fend off waves of virtual monsters that could be coming from different rooms at different times could add a fresh dynamic. Cooperative gameplay could balance out this intensity of the competitive modes and provide a different way to enjoy the game with your friends. Also, possibly Party Versus could benefit from more chilled games that don't require that much running and dodging. The possibilities really are endless here with this stitched mixed reality. Party Versus definitely shows the potential of mixed reality in general. It's filled with moments of hilarity, strategic gameplay, and physical activity. While there's still a few bugs left, the core experience is really fun and it features a very unusual gameplay mechanics. This is the kind of game that brings people together, and I hope to see Shell Games expanding on this foundation with future updates and more minigames to play. With more minigames, better balance, and maybe a cooperative mode, Party Versus could become a must-play title for VR multiplayer game fans. And in the meantime, if you're looking for free VR games to play on your Quest 2, 3, or 3S, then check out my latest video where I highlight over 30 free-to-play titles for these headsets sorted by genre. You're definitely gonna find something you love there. I'll see you there.